If you want to grow your own wasabi and harvest it for kitchen use, today I'm going to be harvesting some of my fabulous crop here, and we're also going to be doing a taste test between real wasabi and the stuff you buy in the shops. Now my wife has a really good palate for these things, so I want her to go blindfolded and try the real wasabi and the paste that you buy in the shops and see what differences in terms of taste and heat that she can decipher. Right, now wasabi is a very interesting wetland plant. It's from the mountain valleys of Japan and it likes very specific growing conditions. And one thing I've learned from growing this is it really needs a certain amount of moisture in the air. You know, it really likes a clean environment, and it likes, I would say, bright shade or dabbled sunlight. As I say, I've been experimenting for 3 years, and you know, if you decide to buy wasabi and just put it in the garden, the chances are a lot of things are going to eat it, especially slugs. Slugs and snails absolutely love this stuff. But I've had some success and some failures, but generally what I find with wasabi is you just have to leave it a while, and that plant's got to build up that rhizomes root. And these plants will divide at the base. Here at the lower end of the polytunnel, I have quite a damp area where all of the moisture sits to the bottom. It does actually get some direct sunlight. I find that during the months of April, May, just as it's warming up, it's growing really well. And then as the main summer comes along, it dies off a little bit and sits back like it's doing here. So today we're going to harvest a rhizome that I've got here. I've got a couple that are ready. I'm just going to take one. I'm going to show you how to clean up the wasabi root, how to wash it, and then how to prepare it, use it. We'll do the taste test, and then how to store it. So the stuff you buy in the supermarket typically is not real wasabi. Sometimes it will have small amounts of wasabi in it, but usually it is just food colouring and horseradish. Because the thing with wasabi is you have to grate that root, and then the heat and the flavour will come out after a few minutes, and then that will actually die down within 20 and 30 minutes. Combine that with the fact it's actually really difficult to grow and crop. It's usually 2 years for a crop, and it's quite hard to get that crop. It's just not really very commercially viable. So if you want the real deal, really you're going to have to grow it yourself. And if you want to learn how to grow it yourself, I have a video specifically just on growing wasabi, and there's a little homegrown system that I include in there, little patio system. If you want to check that one out, I'll leave it in the description. Now, traditionally and typically in Japan, the root was always eaten with sushi. But going back many years, the actual reason that this was done was because it has a lot of antibacterial properties in the root. So it was usually stored with the raw fish, but over time it has become an acquired taste with fish, and it is very nice. I mean, one thing I'll say before we do the taste test is it is completely different from the horseradish one that you get. I mean, there are similarities. The heat, I mean, some of the Japanese supermarkets I've gone to, the heat, just, you know, when I first thought I was eating real wasabi, it was just too much. But that actually was horseradish. The wasabi has got a heat to it, but it's actually a very pleasant heat, and it's actually quite a sweet. It's got quite a sweet taste to it. It's a very accomplished taste. I love it. Okay, so if we look in here now, how I grow wasabi is probably not the most recommended way. A lot of people say you have to replicate the Japanese riverbed as much as possible, but I have a shady part of the polytunnel down here, and like I say, in summer it does go a little bit stubby, and my plants probably are a little bit stubby, but you know what, I like that because I get more roots and they're more compact. I don't eat a hell of a lot of sushi, and you know, I think that just harvesting the odd root when you want it is good. And what I like about wasabi is it will sort of stay in the ground and just divide. So, you know, you've got a couple of years to have this root. And I think that's really reasonable, you know. So today we're going to harvest this one. And if you look in there, this thick one here, it probably goes down, you know, probably the length of my finger. So it's a lot bigger than what you can see there. Like I say, I usually have this crop for the leaves and the stems. I think they're fantastic in stir fries. They've got quite a nice twang to them. But today we're going to take this root. So feel round. You want to get it as low as possible. Oh, another little bonus tip while I'm here. Once you've finished with your wasabi and it's been in the fridge, once you get it to the top, if you stop just below the leaf stems, you can actually just put that back in soil and that plant will start to regrow. So again, you know, once you've used your wasabi root, you can just end below the leaf, stick it back in the soil, as long as conditions are reasonably favourable, maybe a window ledge, with some warmth and a bit of moisture, and it will start to sprout again. Try and get your knife in low. Now, I don't mind if I disturb this plant too much because I've got a lot of plantlets coming out which are going to give me more crops. So let's go down there and just cut in there nice. Quite a substantial root this actually. There you go, she's just come loose now. Right, now I probably could have got a little bit more of that, but to be fair, that's good enough. The rest of that's under the ground and there's more crops to come out of that. So, you know, for me and my wife, that's probably absolutely fine. And, you know, by leaving more energy under the ground, that's probably good. I mean, if I was growing it in a riverbed situation, and some of the commercial guys now, they have got deep shingle beds. And what that does is that encourages that root to grow even longer, the most valuable part. But as I say, mine in compost here are stubbier, but for home use, that's perfect. And, you know, that's quite a thick old root. And that'll do me just fine. Now, when you harvest the root, don't skin the root. Sometimes people are very tempted to take the skin off of the root. You just got to clean it. You know, it's like carrots. I know everyone likes to skin a carrot, but if you get a toothbrush and you give it a damn good clean, them dark bits, it's not necessarily dirt, they are just the little rings around the little nodes on the rhizome. So that's actually got a big part of the flavour. Keep the root on, and what you're looking to do is you're looking to get a grater of some sort. Now, in traditional Japan, what they do is they have a shark skin grater that they use. And I mean, you know, ethically, it's probably not the best way to go. They say it's the best. Obviously, sharks have got them small, fine textured hooks on them. But, you know, what you can do is you can just use a grater. Usually on a grater, you've got the small little emaciating grater bits, which basically smashes up. They're good for things like garlic. If you get the wasabi to that part of the grater and you just do a circular motion, that's what you're looking for, you know. And once you build up a nice residue of wasabi on it, then just give it a tap, scrape out as much as you can, and then leave that for a couple of minutes. After about 3 or 4 minutes, you've got, you know, the heat will start to be present, and then, you know, that heat will last for, say, 20 to 30 minutes. But they do say that, you know, 10 minutes after grating is the optimum time to try it, and that's when it's going to be at its most hot and flavourful. Now, usually that root is a little bit too much to use all in one go, so you can actually store the root for a few weeks in the fridge, and there's two main ways of doing that. One way is to get a saucer with some water, stand the root in. Once you've chopped it, once you've grated it, just gently cut a nice flat edge on that, pop that upwards in the water, and that should keep somewhere it's not going to be disturbed. Or you can wrap it in kitchen paper with some moisture, paper towel, and then also wrap it in cling film and store that in the fridge. And then, you know, you can get a few crops out of one root. So on this saucer, we're going to have the shop bought wasabi in a tube, not real wasabi. On this side, we're going to have the real wasabi, which has been grated and rested for 5 minutes. Let's see if she can tell the difference. Okay, so Claire's going to tell us what she thinks of the first one in terms of taste, and then she's going to try the second one, and she's going to let us know what she thinks in terms of taste, because Claire's got a very good palate. She eats out a lot, so we will find out. So see that crab stick? Right, have a taste and tell me. Be careful, because it might be hot.
Okay.
That's the first one. Tell me what you think.
Oh, right, that's hot.
Is it? Is it really hot?
Wow. That's a lot of wasabi. Okay, it tastes good. It's more Oh, it's more hot and spicy than anything else, so it's burning my throat, burning my nose a bit.
Yeah.
It tastes good. It tastes like the wasabi I'm used to when I have things like sushi.
Okay.
But it's just all heat. But it tastes like wasabi as I know it.
Okay, interesting. You're not gonna finish that one then. You didn't enjoy it that much. You don't have to.
It's pretty hot.
Okay, we won't finish that one then. I might have a little go at that as well, actually. Oh my god. Oh, man. All right, I wish I didn't do that. Right, the next one Claire's going to try. Let's see what you think of that. So you got no idea which is the real one. Let's have a little go. That was quite brave. Oh, you like this one? So what's different?
Has hot, well, completely different. It tastes really, really kind of fresh and vibrant, like almost grassy. It tastes like, it just tastes much, much fresher. Not nearly as hot as the first one.
Okay.
It hasn't quite got the same sort of mustardy flavour to it. Really nice. I'd say the second one tastes much better. If I were to eat the rest of one of them, I'd have the second one.
Well, there you go. So which one then would you guess, based on what you know about wasabi, is real wasabi?
I think the second one has to be the real one.
Well,
it just tastes so much fresher.
Do you know, I've got to say, from what I just tasted there, that just tastes like mustard.
Yeah. Now I've tasted that second one.
Right. There you go. I want to taste this.
Oh, you can see the difference between them. Plus, made my eyes water. So that just looks like green paste.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
really
wow,
good.
the real big difference.
Massive difference.
Ah, both pretty hot though.
So there you go. The second one, it's actually really quite sweet. There you go.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's storing your own wasabi. If you want to learn how to grow wasabi, I do a holistic video on generally the things you need to know and what you should do if you want to try and grow wasabi, and I'll link to that in the description. Wasabi, a great novelty in the garden and a great food crop as well. Get out there and grow some.